So, yeah, season's over. And shoulders bothering me. I gotta get that, probably get that looked at. But besides that,
And knee hurting, shoulder
knee,
hurting.
what? Knees is back. Knees is,
Oh, knees is back.
knees is back for at least right now. I'm knock on wood, but we go through the tendonitis, and then
That's
once
good.
the flare, it can be painful. But now, they're fine. But down the shoulder is acting crazy. But
How the shoulder get all crazy?
who knows, bro? You know. Who knows, brother? That's nobody. We know when you get this age. Do we ever really know?
You said when
You
you get
wake
this
up with
age.
something.
It's so crazy getting old, bro.
You sleep wrong, you got a slip disc. Wake up with a slip disc in your back. You're like, ah.
Had a wrong dream. Pull
Bro,
hammy in your
I
dream.
told you, what is it? Right before in the fall, I bent over to fold my clothes. I was on a trip.
Still Jim
Back blew out. Pause.
Oh!
My back blew out. Pause.
He
Just
said
by
my
putting my
back
shirt in
blew out.
put my shirt into my suitcase was crazy.
That might be a violation, bro. You're too young to
I
be doing
paused it
stuff.
right away, so we straight.
He's too young to be doing stuff like that. Yeah. But man, it's been a while. But we got some things to talk about, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things happening in NFL. New season is upon us coming up. Um, I think it's all NFL. We got some Floyd stuff to talk about. We can get a chance to talk about. This is Moneypot Nights. Let's go.
I'm just one parlay away. Trust I'ma take us far. I'm just one parlay away. One parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, I took the Chiefs on over. Took my home.
Just one parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, vocals getting better, bro.
Hey,
Welcome everybody back for another episode of Moneypot Nights. I am the host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. Of course, I got my guy with me. Be humble. What's up, bro?
we back. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We're finally out of this
Been
snow.
a little bit of
Hopefully
while.
no more snow.
Yeah, I know, right? All the snow gone. Thank God.
Yep,
That joint was in the way, bro.
absolutely.
Hopefully it don't snow again. It's supposed to be raining all week.
All right, I'll take it very
Right.
soon.
I'll take the rain. I hate cold rain though. I can't do. I don't like. I don't bang with cold rain. But we'll take it, man. But there's a lot going on in the world of sports, as you already know. You're watching college basketball. March Madness is upon us. That should be starting up pretty soon. I haven't been following college. Is there a clear number one this year, or is it kind of like a mixed bag with college? Switch to college basketball real quick.
Yeah, I think there is some parity. I think probably this year will be the year that you're seeing a lot of parity within college basketball. We're just about to get into the conference tournament. So that's heading up. Probably coming up this weekend, and going in for the next probably 2 weeks, and then we're going to jump right into March Madness. You can look at, as far as the top guys that are pretty dominant. That's your Duke, Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Florida. Florida's creeped up here later in the season, later half of the season. They went on a good run.
Yeah.
Iowa State, Houston, Michigan State, Nebraska, Texas Tech. That rounds out the top 10. But it is heavy up front. Duke, Arizona, Michigan, UConn, really, really tough teams. So yeah. And you still have an undefeated, one undefeated team in the mid-major, 30-0. Miami of Ohio has not lost a game all season. They are regular season undefeated going into their conference tournament.
Yeah. I just haven't been following at all. I usually follow, he's kind of lost. And probably maybe first year I might not even do a bracket. I don't know. Might try, but I mean, a little late in the game. When the madness start? In like a week, right?
A couple weeks. Yeah, they're in the
A
conference.
couple weeks. Still got a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the championship games got to happen, right?
Yeah, you got the tournament conference. Their conference tournaments start. The conference tournaments start. The smaller schools started today.
Yeah.
But the bigger
some on the
schools
weekends
are still
coming up.
Yeah, coming up on a weekend and going into next week. I think like the Big East starts next week, stuff like that. So then you got like pretty much a full week of that. That brings us into the second week of March, and then you'll start getting a bracket right after that. So we got a couple weeks until the March Madness starts.
Well, the Madness is starting in the NFL, man. Started off a couple weeks ago with a lot of kind of highlights of the NFL Combine. Now, typically, NFL Combine, from what I've seen, bro, is it's kind of like fell off. You had some of your top tiers in terms of talent. People who you knew were good, tested well, and you did what they thought you would think they would do. But I feel like this year, bro, it was crazy. Like, look at some like the athletes in this year's class is wild. I mean, look at this bull, man.
Yeah.
This is the tight end from Oregon.
Yep.
Kenyon Sadiq. 4.3, 40-yard dash, 43 vert, 11-1 broad. Bench press was 26 reps for 225. Like, crazy freak athlete, bro. 4.3, 4.39. We're talking about like Jamar Gibbs speed.
Yeah. At the tight end position.
At the tight end position, what is he, 6'3", 240? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I was watching a little bit of it. I haven't watched, to be honest with you, I haven't watched the Combine in a long, long time.
Yeah.
It was the Combine used to be super, super strict. And there was a lot of like small stuff they didn't let you get away with from what I recall. Like, some guys' backs was arched when they're doing a bench press. Pretty much just
I think that started a long time ago. A lot of cats be doing that arch bench stuff.
Okay.
But it's a powerlifting technique. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. It wasn't like that when I was going through it.
No, your back had to be on the bench.
Yeah, it was like that.
But no, it's a powerlifting technique, and it does shorten the
length.
path.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But I mean, that's how a lot of powerlifters lift. I mean,
and then even a 40, used to always get a couple whistles, with the false movements.
Yeah.
Pause for a second. I was seeing a couple roll starts. It was, I'm not saying. I mean, those things matter when you're talking about like a good.
No, you're right. They do. You're talking about tenths of a second that can change your life
from a roll or start. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, like you said, I don't want to take it away from these guys. It is 2026, and these guys are athletes since they a long, long time. They've been training for these things and these moments. So yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah, this is one of Sonny Styles, linebacker for Ohio State, 6'5", 244, 4'4", 43 vert, 13. I want to say, is that 135 inch or 13.5 broad jump? I don't know. It's got to be 13.5.
13.5, yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, and his brother ran well.
His brother ran a 4.28.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Running back.
You see the pic of him and the brothers with his dad?
Yeah. Yoked up. Boy was yoked. Yeah. And it's funny. I think this cycle is the cycle of the kids that started training younger. You know what I mean? Like, then obviously we did or not. You know what I mean? These are the kids that have been bred to play football. They've been playing football since Pee-wee. They've been playing and they've been training in a certain way since Pee-wee. You know what I mean? Because like you said, his dad was yoked up. So he knew how to train his boys. But I mean, this is just two kind of standouts. Like you said, his brother was a 4.2. A lot of big D linemen ran sub fives at like 290, 300 pounds. Yeah. I think it was that was a defensive tackle or O tackle. I forget which ones. Cat from Miami. I think he was like 6'6". He ran like a 5 flat at 330. Like the athletes coming out this year is really kind of crazy. I felt this year, and we'll see kind of where it is. But I thought it was worth highlighting. A lot of the names, like even Jeremiah Love, he ran a 4.3 himself.
Yeah, he was out there.
Like a lot of the guys that I feel like a lot of the guys that are top picks answered the call. Now there were some lemons out there. I think the receiver from USC didn't have supposedly good interviews, and he was really kind of weird.
Yeah, it was a weird.
He was like something was off with his vibe.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what who told him to do that or why he did that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
It was just really odd. But
yeah, like
but then it transferred into the interviews. Like I did hear the same thing, not just the presser, but like you said, the interviews they were saying were kind of like not really good interviews. So
yeah. And like I don't know, like his eyes was down and he was like he just weird movements. It was something off about him that you know what I mean. So I think him, and then I think the other receiver, two big names that came. I think is it Kelly? Is it Caleb Downs? Who's this?
Oh, Caleb Downs. Yeah.
Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs had degenerated ACL.
Yeah, that's tough.
Kind of which was kind of tough. I don't think he falls out of the first round, but it's still a red flag. And then
I mean, if he can fall to to the 20s, we can scoop there.
I mean, we'll see. We'll get to where the Eagles is at because that's another thing kind of shaking and moving. And I think that kind of came out. And then what's the receiver? The other receiver. There's a receiver who was a top 3 receiver and he ran a 4.5. I forget which where he was from. Not was it the bull from USC? Might have been him. I thought it was somebody else. But it was a top receiver that ran a 4.5. So you get those guys in the combine that kind of don't fit the bill, but game speed is different than time speed. But I think really everybody kind of blew their times out the water for the most part. Like eye-popping and perform like Kenyon Sadiq, like a 4.3, bro. That's freaky. Freaky.
It is very much so.
Freaky athlete, fast twitch guy, like just crazy. You know what I mean? I think he solidified himself as a top 10 pick. If he goes to KC, forget about it.
Yeah, I think he did do a great job. He definitely should fly up the board. Who knows if they will or not, but
yeah,
he should. Ohio State was representing for sure in this combine.
Yeah, for sure. You know what else might be flying up the boards? The Eagles, because the Eagles might be on the clock, and it's a direct reflection of this man. Why this man? Mr. Stefon Diggs got released
from
the New England Patriots. I don't know what the rumor is. I heard and read that it could have been something with his contract that they were trying to work out and they just couldn't work out. I think it's more too much baggage of everything's going off the field with him right now that he more likely has to deal with. But now the Patriots do not have a number 1 receiver. And I hate to do it, but this is why Patriot fans are really excited. I got this off a Patriot fan page. Ugh, don't even look right. Don't even look right. But this is what they're banging on the wall for. And the word on the street, let me put it up. Howie, would you trade A.J. Brown for a first round and a second round pick right now, bro?
Would I trade A.J. Brown for a first and second?
Shit, you might trade him as far
first
as
and second. You said a first and second?
A first. So I think it will be something, and I think this is what everybody's kind of been saying, a Quentin Williams type deal. This year's second and a next year's first.
Oh, this year's second and next year's first.
Yeah, this year's second and the next year's first.
Yeah, I'll help him pack his bags. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'll help him. I'll be at the door to help him load the car. I mean, a first round pick and a second, absolutely.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here, so bye. And I'm getting a first and second out of it, absolutely. He wants to be in New England. Go to New England. He wants to be underneath coach and do his thing, and that's where he feels as though he can flourish. he may be able to. You got Drake May, that he might be able to get the ball to him better than what Jalen may be getting the ball to him. I guess that's what he's assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So, goodbye. I'm surprised they did get rid of Stefon Diggs. That's crazy. I thought they just signed him for a 3-year.
They just signed him for a 3-year deal. I think it was like 3 years, like
60-something
$63
million.
million
So
or
to
something.
release him is kind of crazy. That sounds like it's some back room stuff.
For sure.
Hopefully it's not too crazy. I would have thought they would, if they were looking to maybe make a deal, they could trade Stefon Diggs to us if they want an AJ and something like that, where we can come back with a number one or somebody as a vet. I don't really like Stefon's off-field issues and his personality, but when he's in between the lines, he's a pretty good athlete. I guess you're gonna get the same drama because he does bitch and complain.
He come with baggage, man. He does.
Yeah. But if I was going to be New England, I'd have probably used him as a tool and not just release him. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But I mean, this is what's out there, right? And then New England, I think, is positioning themselves to obviously be in a market for a number one receiver, right? They don't really got much behind Diggs. I think Douglas,
Mac Hollins,
and I forget who the third one might be.
It's like Keyshawn Booty, right?
Yeah, you're right, Booty. Yeah. So, AJ would probably be perfect for them, right? Gives them that number one threat, number one receiver. The question is, are they going to pony up the value for AJ, which I think is valid for a player of his caliber. What is he, 28, 29 years old? He's probably got 3 or 4 years left in the tank. I think at this level of what he's playing at. And I think that I think either 2 2s or a 1 and a 2 are probably sufficient for him. Now, would I trade him? No. I'm on the other side of this. I would not trade AJ Brown.
Not for a first and a second?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Oh,
I wouldn't. Because to me, one, the first and the second is not going to replace him, right? You're hoping it will, but it won't. And then because I think AJ Brown is a legit top 5 receiver in the league, counting who you talk to or argue to. For me, I think he is a top 5 receiver in the league. And then I think that it puts you in a position offensively, and it puts you in a position as a franchise. I think it puts you back, and you start looking at a rebuild, right? Rebuild kind of / retool, right? Because they got a lot of pieces on defense that they're young. They're losing a little bit, but for the most part, the core is going to be there. So you can hang on that you're going to have a solid and a top 5, top 10 defense more likely every year, especially if Fangio sticks around for a little bit. But offensively, you're going to have to rebuild the whole fucking thing. I've been saying that for a while.
I completely disagree with you there.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah,
man, why are we always disagreeing? We got to get back on the same.
Because it doesn't.
We got to go out to eat or something.
Yeah, that is far fetched.
We on the opposite side of the fence way too goddamn much.
Yeah, this
to be my guy, man. What's up with you, dog?
To have to retool and rebuild and all that. I get you lose a great player in AJ Brown, but to act like that he can't be replaced with, say you give him you're saying he's an A+. Right, so if you sub him in with a B+ and you have Devontae that's an A, like we are right. You are right. You still got Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in the league. You got a new offense, so we can all hopefully get behind the offense that's going to be there in that process. But what I wouldn't do is put AJ Brown with Coach Mannion right now, because what happens then? What happens if he's not getting what he wants then? And he's not getting the rock as much as he wants, because then we're right back in the same Kevin Petula situation. And we can't do that. If you're going to be a part of the team, you need to be with the good and the bad. Yes, we all want to win, but we can't be out here throwing people under the bus because you're not getting what you want. He has to go, bro. Right? Like you said, let Devontae get up here. Let him figure out who he's going to be. He can be a number one. And if you don't think he can be a Jackson Jigabub, or maybe he can be a 1,400-yard receiver, that's still elite. It's still elite.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. So, my thought is, like, when you take AJ Brown off this team, what's left is a big difference, right?
We've won without AJ Brown. We have won games.
Yeah, but we won a lot more with AJ.
He plays more, but when he's not in, I mean, let's look. We could probably look that stat. That'd probably be something to look up. Eagles record with and without AJ Brown.
I know his record with AJ Brown is silly.
Right? So, no, I'm saying, but without him, do we win? That's what we want to know. Do we want to know what is the Eagles record without AJ Brown?
So Jalen Hurts record without AJ Brown. Let's see. That don't sound right.
What don't sound
Say
right?
he's 2-2. 14 and 19 without AJ Brown. It's a big difference.
Without AJ. No, this is.
So I'm looking at Jalen Hurts because that's who my quarterback is.
No, not Jalen Hurts. I want to know what the Eagles is without AJ Brown.
Oh, why would you do it without Jalen? Jalen's.
I just want to know. I mean, AJ. So we're saying AJ Brown missed how many games? What are we talking about? That doesn't make sense. 14 and what?
It said 14 and 19.
If AJ hasn't played over 40 games, he needs to go right now for a second round pick. That number don't make sense. AJ Brown he's not playing. How many games has AJ Brown missed? That's another issue. If that's the case, he's not healthy.
Nah, this has got to be just. I think this is just games in general for Jalen Hurts. So there's two stats. I see one that says 2-2.
Makes sense. I don't think AJ missed that many games. Maybe like 4.
Yeah, 2. They're 2-2 with games without AJ Brown, and then with AJ Brown,
and that may be including the losses. Maybe including like week 16 or 17.
They're 43 and 9 with AJ Brown.
Sure. I mean, we win. So without AJ Brown, they're 2-2, and then we got to just look, and then we can now go to the micro level and see what those games were, because they could be week 17 games when he wasn't there, right? I know the one game we won, we played, I think Devontae Smith had went crazy, and that was when we played like the Saints. Was it the one time we played the Saints and AJ wasn't there or something like that?
And Devontae, what he had, like 170, 180?
Yeah, it was like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, and I don't want to like, listen, AJ Brown is a great talent. You want to say he's top 5? I'm not going to argue with that he's not top 5. But what I'm saying is that him leaving and us getting something, right, to be able to replace him and let Devontae become that number 1 officially, I think we're okay. I don't think that we are going to fall off this whole cliff. I'll be more worried about the O-line more than AJ Brown leaving. You got to be able to protect. You got to be able to run the football. You know, AJ gives us, yes.
And it's kind of funny because I heard some other things about Goddard, that Goddard might not be out of here as much as we think. Because I heard there was something in the clause with his contract where if he signed somewhere else, there's still Eagles eat $20 million in dead cap money. So it's almost like you let him walk, you're going to eat $20 million, but if you trade him, you can kind of change that number. This was just what I heard on the radio. How valid or how true it is, I don't honestly know. I didn't look that much into it, but there's a chance that Dallas Goedert comes back. You need that, right? You need one. You need one of the two. You can't lose both. In my opinion.
There's a lot of tight ends in the draft too, though, so we can also draft the tight ends.
Yeah, there's some
tight ends in the draft.
Yeah, there's some good tight ends.
I did watch that segment, and there was a lot of tight ends. It was probably like 30 damn near tight ends. I'm like, man, why so many tight ends?
I think the top 3 tight ends all tested phenomenal.
Yeah, so there are some tight ends. We really need one. We'll probably get them in the second round, something like that.
Yeah, and I think doesn't Stanford always produce good tight ends? I think the kid from Stanford is a decent tight end.
Sure, Iowa usually.
Stanford and Iowa usually always produce good tight ends.
Yep,
if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, I just think that, you know, you lose that much production, and if you trade away AJ, right, you get another first, you get a second, maybe you move up to get an impact player on offense, possibly a tight end, right, or even a tackle or something like that in the first round. My only thought or my problem is that it's going to take time for this thing to kind of turn around and see what it is. Right, it's going to take time for Mannion to get in.
Right, I think it's going to take time regardless.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but with talent, you know, you can kind of weigh that a little bit better, right? Talent, it might outfit the scheme, right? You know, AJ's going to do things that the scheme just can't account for, right? So I think that's where That's where my concern is. My concern is if you trade AJ Brown, and I do think this thing falls off a cliff, you might not see the Eagles back at a high level for a couple of years. And I just think we have so much talent in this team. Like, is it really a time to kind of revamp and reboot it when you still have a window? Because you're closing the window at that point. It's not like it's imploding. You're just letting the window close at that point. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Because like on paper, they're still a top probably 3 team in the league. And they should be favorites in the upper tier of favorites to go back to the Super Bowl. Just on talent alone. You lose Goddard, you lose AJ, that completely changes. And you might not even make the playoffs. That you're more likely not going to win your division. You know what I mean? Because just facing history, no team has won the division 3 times in a row. You're the first team in 20 years that won it twice back to back. You know what I mean? Not saying it can't happen, but the odds of it happening is slim. And that just compounds that. And next thing you know, now you're fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't agree. I hear you. I just don't agree. I don't think one person
this week or next week we going out deep, dog.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because the amount of weight that you're putting on one player on a team sport, and Jalen plays a team game, is like it's like
I'm putting the weight on them because they're 43-9 together.
I get it, but what is Jalen Hurts' record?
What is Jalen Hurts' record?
Right, like I mean, he's 43-9 plus what? Like that's what we got
as a starter.
Right, 43-9 plus what?
He's 50. He's 57-25 as a starter.
Okay.
And 57,
that includes his rookie season.
43 of the 57 is with AJ.
Sure.
That's insane.
Sure.
So that tells me AJ is a direct reflection of Jalen's success.
The idea that you have a ultimate team person, we can agree to that, right? Jalen Hurts plays the game to win the game, correct?
Right, yeah.
Okay, like he's not playing for stats. He's not out there like, yo, I got to get 200, 300 yards, correct?
Yeah.
So he plays the game. He sacrifices for his team to win football games. So we're saying that an ultimate team player can't lose his best receiver and still be good or still be productive?
I mean, the numbers say something.
You're saying what you said was we're going to be in a complete we're going to pretty much we're going to have the question. We got to blow this all up if we trade AJ Brown.
Yeah,
that's just crazy because we still have damn near the rushing leader just a year ago that's in the backfield. Our O line is coming back. Got Dickerson and Lane Johnson committed to come back. So it's like I don't like. If we were losing AJ and Saquon, okay, now we're like, okay, now it's a lot of weight that's going to be put on Devontae Smith. But but my thing is this. I guess my last thing is this. In history, with AJ Brown, it tells me that, and you know this, he's about himself. Or can we agree to that?
Yeah, I agree. He's about his legacy.
Okay, so a person that's about his legacy is not looking to have somebody new come in that he has to figure out again. And once that page don't go to his route, his history says what? He's going to bitch and complain and moan.
Yeah,
regardless if we're winning or losing.
You could probably make that assumption.
Okay, so and then after we get to that point, AJ ain't going to be here forever. So we do have to start looking for the future. That's my thing. So we can't have another player in here that's going to be disruptive like he was over the past years for us to move forward. Yes, he is a big integral part of this Philadelphia football team. To say that we're going to, if he lose him, we're just going to be in the dirt for more than a few years, not make playoffs is crazy to me because I feel like we're going to be able to replace maybe not a top 5 receiver, but somebody in the B level or B plus level. And you have Devontae that's going to be rising and he's already an A receiver. Devontae Smith to me is already a top 12, 15 receiver in the game. Why can't he be a top 10, top 5?
Just as a stat, Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown, he's thrown for 12,000 12,855 yards, 82 touchdowns, 30 picks. He has a 97.3 passer rating. Without AJ, 698 yards. I'm sorry, 5,036 yards, 28 touchdowns, 15 picks, and 87.5 passing rating. Again, Jalen Hurts' success.
Hold on, that's great. That's great. Those are great numbers. Read those numbers again. Read those the second just without AJ.
Without AJ?
Yes.
Let me read it up again.
Like don't analyze the difference of the numbers. He's been with AJ majority of his career. Talk about those short and then let's include what you're talking about. We're including his rookie year and Devontae's first year. Like let's really think about what was going on in those times that AJ wasn't here. Let's dig on those numbers.
So his stats without AJ is 61.2 accuracy percentage, 5,036 yards, 34 games. He's averaging 148 yards passing per game, 28 touchdowns, 15 picks, 87.5 passing rating. Those are not amazing numbers, bro.
But hold on. Let's look at what those time periods is. That time period is Jalen Hurts' rookie season and Devontae Smith's rookie season. We're talking about two of the most integral pieces of that number, and he's had over 5,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. The rest of them has been with AJ.
Okay.
So those numbers aren't bad. Now you give an experience, add another 5 years going into or 4 years going into Devontae Smith being who he is, because he had 900 yards his rookie season. He's had 3 years where he has over 1,000 yards receiving with AJ Brown, right? And you add Jalen Hurts, who's not going to give you, like you always say, he's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. So we're never going to get that out of Jalen Hurts. So if he's going to give you 2,800 or 3,500, that's his average with AJ or not. So those numbers are actually really good numbers. 28 and 15, 5,000 on his rookie year and Devontae Smith rookie year, and hasn't missed the playoffs? Hasn't missed the playoffs? No, come on, bro. That's crazy to me. You're saying we're going to miss the playoffs if we lose AJ Brown, but we went to the playoffs with Devontae Smith and Miles Sanders in Devontae's rookie season. Like, come on. Now you gotta give Devontae more respect than what you're not giving.
Oh, I give Devontae a ton of respect.
You don't.
I do, but you guys are talking like he's going to be like JSN and he's going to be the number one receiver in the league.
I think he can.
I'm not on that boat.
I believe he can be, but if he's not, can he get 1,400 yards?
Yeah, I think
next year. Can he get 1,400 yards?
I think if AJ's not here, I think he can get 1,400.
So if he's getting 1,400 yards, right? Yeah. And Saquon Barkley's getting, I don't know, say he has a little better year than he had this year, 1,300 yards. You telling me we're not making the playoffs?
No, we're not. It's not enough. Not enough. It's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough.
We should bet it because it's happening. Matter of fact,
I'm not going to bet. I don't want to bet them losing.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's say we're going to make the playoffs. Let's just leave it at that.
That's still betting on them losing.
But let's just say you're saying, hey, this is for the people. We'll do a dinner. We'll just do.
I'm about to say, yeah. And bring. So it's not kind of weird. Bring the ladies. You got to pay for both.
Yes, that's perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever has got to take the bill. Yeah. If AJ Brown is traded, we will make the playoffs.
Okay.
Do you want to add any? Like, I don't know any buts or whats. Let's not. So if AJ Brown is traded, no matter what the situation.
Yeah, just AJ. I'm okay with AJ. I don't gotta do nothing with Goddard.
Gotcha.
Just AJ. If AJ's traded before the year, not during, before the year. Yeah, before the year. I did the couple's dinner. You know what I mean? That the Eagles won't make the playoffs. I'm all right with that.
I like it. Yeah,
I'm all right with that. Farm can stay at home.
Hey, those watching, make sure y'all hold them accountable. We're gonna record this.
Oh, you're gonna hold me accountable, man. I'm gonna chew to my word, man.
All right. And I don't want no, we don't want no Maggianos. You feel me? Like we going to steak.
Maggiano's all right, dog.
Maggiano's is all right. I was just there for the birthday.
You get big portions out there.
That is true. Family stuff.
I mean?
Well, actually, we might have to do Maggiano's because we got the family. We got the family.
Right. You know what I mean? But another kind of tail over or switch over. This one, I thought this one was kind of. I think this one, everybody knew this one was coming.
Yeah.
In terms of Kyler Murray, but in Arizona, is kind of going through a whole kind of rebuild themselves. But I think the bigger question about this of Kyler Murray getting released I think it's twofold. One, do you still look at Kyler Murray as a franchise quarterback? Because the contracts I'm hearing that he's going to have to do like the veteran minimum is just wild to me to hear that. And then two, where do you think he goes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who do you think signs him? There's been some odds that were put out, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. But I'm like, do you see Kyler Murray still as a franchise quarterback?
So to me, I've always had a little bias against Kyler Murray. I think, well, let's put this out here. This has nothing personal to do with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is one of the best athletes to ever play not just football, but play sports. He's one of very few people that were drafted in baseball and drafted in NFL. He's that type of athlete. He's very unique in his skill set of playing multiple sports. But my thing, I've never been a small quarterback guy. I don't think they survive within a league like this because it's so much intricate, so much detail in trying to get into the pocket, staying in the pocket while things develop. Where I think when you're small, like a Murray, you got to kind of escape and use your athleticism. And to me, is a little too much backyard football when it comes down to Kyler. Is it cool to see the things he can do and escape the pocket and juke and throw downfield? Yeah, it is cool, but is it success? Do we see the success in that? Are you going to win championships with that? I haven't seen that. Some of the ones that have been like that haven't done that. So I'm not surprised he was released. I think Arizona is right to go a different direction. Is he a franchise quarterback? Probably because it's hard being a starting quarterback in the NFL, and there's not many people that can kind of step in there. And where do I see him or teams that are probably looking at for a quarterback? I would probably look at the New York Jets. I think it'd be a great spot there. Get some people in the seats, a little bit more excitement within that New York organization because of his athleticism, and he will win games there. You got Minnesota looking for a quarterback, but if I'm Minnesota, I probably don't touch him either. I think you need a standard quarterback that can run the offense a little bit in Minnesota. But I see him in the New York Jets. Maybe. You got the odds.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, these are the odds for the top teams. I mean, obviously,
the Colts might be looking for a quarterback right now. That might be a nice little spot for the Colts to get some excitement there.
Yeah, that they put that transitional tag on Daniel.
Oh,
Jones.
Okay.
I thought Cleveland was really interesting. I think Cleveland could use some juice at the quarterback position. You know me, I'm a big Sanders fan, but I think he's better than Sanders.
Yeah, but the idea that you still have Deshaun Watson on that roster, you're still paying. Like you're not putting all that money into the quarterback.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what we're hearing, from what I'm seeing and looking, Kyler Murray's not going to get a big deal. It's going to be a 1-year deal. They're saying similar to Russell. He's fallen that low on the totem pole, and he's not the only one. Remember, Baker was a backup for a couple of years.
If he's being released and he's not having no trade clause or anything like that, I would never go to Cleveland. Cleveland knocks on my door, I would say no.
I don't get Atlanta either.
I think because of Kurt is now gone.
Well, Kurt's not gone, and Penix, I think it's his third surgery on that knee.
Yeah, so Penix might be. So that might be an idea.
I mean, it'd be dynamic
on a cheap.
With him and Bijan,
for sure. That might be a good
that'd be
spot.
Silly.
If I was Murray and I was getting the opportunity, I would look at Atlanta for sure. And you're back in
and then not even everything outside. You know what they building out in Atlanta and business and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just your brand itself. But I don't know. I mean, it's a dome too, so it's a fast track. You kind of stay, inside and to play to your strengths. I mean, if I'm him, I don't ever want to go to New York. I don't want to go to Jets.
Yeah, I mean, unless you just want to be the guy.
Unless Jets pay him like franchise money.
But I wouldn't want to go there. I would. If Atlanta's there for me, I would go Atlanta. The Jets, if you're going to pay me as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I just think with Cleveland's defense and them just and then the running situation, the running back situation there. I know they got Franklin there at the tight end position. Like they're on the up and up, right? And I think them needing a veteran quarterback, because I mean you think they have to keep Deshaun Watson on the roster, right? His contract is fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
But out of the three, and it sucks, right? Is you got three of the black quarterbacks on the same team. But out of the three, I still think Murray's the better out of the three.
Yeah, but they can't protect him. So at that point, it don't even make a difference.
Yeah, I guess you're right there.
I think the Browns have to go all in on their offensive line. You gotta be able to protect the quarterback.
I think they did, right? Didn't they just trade for an offensive lineman, if I'm not mistaken?
Recently, I don't know.
I thought so.
For this year,
traded for a lineman.
Yeah, I think they got to focus on the offensive line. Once they focus on the offensive line, I think they can kind of build around that.
Mm-hmm.
To see Kyler Murray scamper around is, I guess he can extend plays, but it's for me. If you were asking me, these would be my three tops. It would be the New York Jets, Atlanta Falcons, and I would look at Indianapolis Colts potentially.
Yeah, I think Rodgers is coming back to the Steelers. You know what I mean? Especially with McCarthy there. I
also don't, and this is the problem I have with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like you just got these teams waiting for you, and it's shame on the teams that do that. Like
I think I heard there was some rumblings that it's not going to be like last year. Their conversations have been somewhat had. There's just no contracts or anything like that. So Rodgers is kind of saying like I'm a free agent right now, but I think he wants to go play, right? If he's going to play one more year, give it one more shot, especially with McCarthy there, try to re-grab that magic that they had back in Green Bay, and then call it a day. And it seems like both sides were on the same page. So and then you got a guy in there, McCarthy, who's been a long life, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So they might be able to do something, in Pittsburgh. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if it's about the money, but I'll tell you what, I know what it's about the money. Man. So there's been a lot of conversations about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather announces that he's coming out of retirement. I think he's 48, 49 years old. Already got, fights on the docket. But the real question is about Floyd and his finances. And the question is Floyd really broke? Right? We've seen all the rumors about him not being able to pay back taxes. Some of the buildings he, said his name really wasn't here. His, can't pay rent. The lavish lifestyle that he's always lived. A lot of conversations about Floyd being bankrupt, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think? You think Floyd's broke?
Yeah.
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 I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So let me ask you this. There's a better way for our financial.
He shouldn't be. But
no, he shouldn't be. But is it because that his finances are drying up because of the lifestyle he has?
Plus.
And he just mismanagement of money.
And others. There's a combination.
Yeah.
You have, as the only unfortunate story, I don't have any sympathy for Mayweather at all. Zero.
Yeah.
But the only unfortunate thing about it is that he was screwed over a lot of money with the management. But those are the people that you.
But that's his fault, though. What's up?
That is your fault, right? That is a part of your fault. I'm sure there's been plenty of people around you that try to tell you or steer you a different direction, and you put your faith in somebody that was really taking your money. And then you add on top of you having to keep up with your image, being Money Mayweather, you got to flaunt all this and pay for this, and everything is a brand, and every car is a Rolls Royce, and every private jet is this. That money is being spent. So when you all of a sudden wake up today and you're like, oh shoot, I'm missing $220 million. One, you shouldn't have to be worried about that 320 million.
Right.
You shouldn't be getting there. You was making close to $1 billion in your quote unquote when you were fighting.
I believe he made $1 billion in his.
I'm sure he was getting up there.
Yeah.
And now we talking about bankruptcy. Now you talking about he can't pay his lawyer fees and court fees and stuff like that. And he had to sell.
I mean, this is why he got the fight coming up. So the first fight is with Pac-Man. That should be a quick 100 mil plus for them.
If it's streaming, you better figure it out. And I know I heard he didn't. He's not paying people.
I think that one's Netflix.
They're gonna do Netflix for this.
Yeah, that one. So the Pac-Man fight is Netflix, but I think it's just a one fight thing.
Okay.
I mean, his end goal, in my opinion, his end goal is get the Bud.
Who?
Right? Him versus Bud would be the biggest
Bud
fight.
Bud ain't coming out.
But Bud might not. Obviously, like you said, Bud already said multiple times he ain't fighting. Now, does $250 million change his mind? Maybe, I don't know. It's a lot of money. But Floyd got the Pac-Man fight, so that's an easy 100 million. No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. First, he's got the Tyson fight, right? So that's probably 100 million. Then he's got the Pac-Man fight.
No, so the Pac-Man, he got a Tyson fight before Pac-Man?
Yeah, the Tyson fight is before Pac-Man.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Tyson fight is coming up, I think. Don is Tyson first. So it's Tyson, I think, in like April, in like a month or something. But it's not like a sanctioned fight or anything. It's not a professional fight. And then it's Pac-Man. And then I saw he's fighting some martial artist from Greece or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But if he take care of Pac-Man, and if they can find the weight, which I think it'll be hard to do, it's Canelo after Pac-Man.
Yeah, right? I'm good.
You gonna watch it? Stop.
I'm good. It's on Netflix. I watch.
Yeah, you gonna. If it was ordering, you gonna watch it.
If it was a pay-per-view, I would not watch. I'm not supporting that. I don't need to see a 50-year-old man fight. I don't. Yeah. I don't care to watch fight Pacquiao. I'm cool. I definitely don't care to watch him fight Mike Tyson. I'm cool. I will not pay for none of the fights.
I don't know. Somebody else said that to me too, Don. I don't think he's gonna fight them. He already fought them. There ain't no money in that.
And I think he didn't get paid. I think Logan said he still.
Yeah, Logan said he didn't get $2 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna make $100 million fighting the Paul brothers. In my opinion, I think people want to see him fight real fighters. And he's already got
wants to see him. I'm included. Yeah. I don't care to see Floyd.
People. I think that he's got storylines already lined up to fight. Right, the Pac-Man fight. Pac-Man's always called for a rematch for this fight. He hurt his shoulder. Blah blah blah. And Mayweather just kept it moving. So he gonna fight Pac-Man again, right? And then Tyson has already been, obviously known things about Mike calling him really not the champ. The champ don't need all his entourage. The champ can walk through anywhere, right? We've already heard that before. And then you go to not Pacquiao. You go to Canelo. The conversation about him fighting Canelo, right? Canelo was so young, even though undefeated. Canelo was really the rookie in there, while you had a vet in there taking advantage of an inexperienced fighter at that level, right? Canelo's in his prime right now, and then obviously, you got the GOAT at the end in Bud. So, I think that's where you see it. And if you can execute all three fights, including Tyson, you're probably looking at $400 to $500 million, easy. In my opinion, right? I think that's the play, to get Money Mayweather back to being Money Mayweather. Whether you want to like it or not, it's just a money grab, right? So
sure.
If he can get the Bud, in my opinion, it makes sense to do it in the States, but it makes a lot of sense if them Arabs come out with this money, bro, and they will pay. If they guarantee $200 million to each fighter, it'd be interesting to see what Bud say about that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
If it gets the Bud,
that's a lot of money to fight a 50-year-old man.
If it gets the Bud, it's definitely
You know what I mean?
If it's get the Bud, I'll watch that because I like Bud. So I'll support Bud.
Yeah. And like,
Floyd's projected to earn about $600 million plus windfall in 2026 through series of high profiling boxing matches.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense
with Pacquiao.
Yeah, I mean, him and Pacquiao are probably gonna do 100 to 150 million. People are gonna turn in to see that fight, and if he beats Pacquiao in a dominant fashion, I guarantee you, Bud and Canelo will be in the arena, and he will call out one of them. He's going to call out one of them. And to Mayweather's credit, he's going to give people what they want to see. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I won't be paying for it.
Yeah, Ruben, but he's not beating Bud, dog.
He's not beating Bud at all.
He's not beating Bud, bro.
Hell no. Bud? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah. We're not beating Bud.
Come on, he's not beating Bud. He's gonna be by the time he fight Bud, he's gonna be 51 years old.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
He's not gonna beat Bud, bro. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting what if they do a catch weight for Canelo, and if Canelo will come down to that weight. Him and Canelo, I think, is really interesting. Because I still think Floyd defensively is probably still okay. As long as he don't get hit, he might be all right. But Canelo's a completely different fighter than when Floyd seen him the first time. Right?
For sure. 100%.
So, like, I think that that'll be an interesting fight because I think Canelo can win that fight.
Yes, I do. Because Canelo still fights. Canelo's still fighting right now.
Nah, bro.
Floyd is not always on the
field. He's not underrated.
Listen, bro.
Floyd like a top 2 all-time great. Like Floyd is not underrated.
When is the last time Floyd fought?
He didn't fight that Asian guy. Well, you mean like a fight? What was his last fight?
Right. We talking about what, 5-6 years ago? Like,
was the Logan Paul fight a professional
that ain't a fight? That wasn't a fight.
Yeah, well, shit. What was his last fight?
Right. Exactly.
I don't even know his last. I should know this because I watch boxing.
What are we talking about? 50-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Come on, man. We've seen this story before. Bernard Hopkins tried that shit. Come on, like get the fuck out of here.
Let's see. Hold on. I need to know because I don't know who his last fight is, and I feel like I should know that.
Probably what, 2019? Probably before COVID. Definitely before COVID.
Let's see. Here we go. Professional. That was Conor. It was Conor McGregor.
2000 win.
Before that was Berto. I guess Berto would be a real fight.
What year is that?
2017.
And we talk about getting in the ring with Bud Crawford and Canelo.
Yeah,
come on, man.
He fought Canelo in 2013.
Come on. You just said Canelo's in his prime. We know Bud's still in his prime, but he wanted to fight. Mayweather is cooked chicken.
Y'all dropping any future plays for baseball?
For the World. You talking about for the World Cup? I mean, for the World Games, or?
I think he just meant in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Verified, Don.
Yeah. I've been looking at some baseball stuff. You gotta be careful, right? Because a couple cats just got popped with PEDs. So you gotta be careful. Don said just in general.
Oh.
I have been looking and kind of get a sense. I didn't really see any value really with anybody, to be honest. I felt like everybody's odds for baseball was kind of on or not. You're paying for it. Mm-hmm. It just didn't I didn't see anything that stood out to me that said, this is a good play. This is a good bet. Like even some of the Cy Young Award winners, a lot of them, are low odds. So as of right now, I don't see anything. I think maybe Vlad was maybe a possible pick to lead the league in homers as a kind of like a little dark horse. Mm-hmm. I think he was like plus 1,000 or plus 1,600 or something like that. But the top dogs are up there. Otani, Judge. I think there's another guy somewhere who had a monster season last year. I forget his name, or even 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm gonna keep looking. I think Steals might be a good one to look at. Don it's probably kind of a good one. Like Dela Cruz. Even Turner. Trey Turner. Does a lot of steals. So like things like that, kind of sneaky kind of plays that you can kind of look at. I think will be a good thing. But I haven't deep dived into baseball just yet in terms of our futures. But no, I'll do something for you. I got you.
And Don, I did put in a play on the Dominican Republic to win the World Classic. Thought it was plus 375. I just thought it was good value. I think that's one of the best teams. They are loaded on that Dominican team. Obviously, U.S. looks pretty good. Japan's going to be pretty good. But I think if you're going to get any type of value, I thought the 375, or you might get up close to 400 on the Dominicans to win the Classic.
What was U.S.? Yeah, I'm showing the U.S. is favored to win it.
Yes. Yeah, U.S. was like even money.
Even money?
Yeah, when even money to Japan was like 300 or something like that.
Oh, that's because Japan won it last year, right?
Japan won it last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
not too bad.
No, I just thought it was good value. I don't think U.S. I just think just having a little hunch. I just think Dominican just look better on paper.
Yeah.
And they have an opportunity. I think they've got enough players on that team that they can kind of make some noise.
I know U.S. put a lot of runs up. They put like almost 30 runs in 2 games or something crazy.
Yeah, they got a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, they do have a hell of a lineup. It's just silly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I think we ran through all the top stories of sports that's going on right now. We're trying to get back and be on time this time. For some reason, it's just computer was acting up. So apologize for that. But thanks for everybody from jumping in, man. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We will get back to our normal scheduling coming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and then me doing my my baseball or just betting preview shows. And then once football comes back around, we'll be right back at it. So make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Thanks everybody for joining in. I'm Moss Money. Let's be humble. We'll see you guys next week.